Motu Koitabuans remove illegal land boundaries. Opposition criticizes loan secured by government. And women in Port Moresby suburbs into rugby league.
This is National EMTV News with Lorraine Gabina.
Good evening. Thank you for joining me for Sunday's news. Traditional landowners of Ogoni Dabunari, the village after Gerehu Stage 7, congregated this afternoon and removed illegal land boundaries marked by illegal settlers. The landowners say in the past 3 weeks, people have been trespassing through their village to survey their customary land in the hope to secure a piece of land.
Ogoni Dabunari is a Motu Koitabuan village. The families here have migrated from the big village, Baruni, to hunt and look after their customary land.
We have all the rights that this land belongs to us. We are not foreigners, or otherwise we are not from another province coming in here.
They say their customary land stretches from Siraka in State 7 all the way into Laloki in the central province. For many years, the men, women and children have enjoyed a typical village lifestyle of hunting and gardening. But recently, this is changing.
You can see people coming in, it's like they're intruders coming into our community and doing all sorts of stuff, disrespecting the customary landowners of this place.
Starting in April, evicted settlers from settlement areas within the National Capital District started moving into the Ogoni Dabunari area. Some have put up makeshift houses, while others have already built permanent houses.
Land grabbing is a very big issue now that we are bringing our concern to the news that something has to be done.
Today, the landowners claim there was no consultation between them and the Lands Department on the migration of people into their customary land. Women have also raised concerns on their security when going to their gardens or to the fishing areas.
Our concern is that the influx of illegal settlers coming into our land is a threat to our safety.
They are now calling on the NCD Governor, Paul Sparkop, for a round-table discussion on the illegal land grabbing that is taking place.
2007, within ILG, until now, nothing happened.
Tekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
The opposition has strongly condemned the government loan of $1.5 million from an international financial institution. Leader Don Poilier said the loan will not help the economy. Poilier said enough loans had been acquired and the country's debt is increasing.
The opposition has again raised concerns over the state of the economy. While addressing the media after a court case this week, opposition leader Don Poilier criticized government's move to secure a loan of $1.5 billion from an international financial institution.
Opposition leader want them to member below me, bila talk them. Me condemn him this action belong government and go next him dinner after dinner because I'm wrong.
The opposition leader said a substantial amount of loans had already been sourced outside the country and the government should be improving on areas to redirect the economy. Claiming that the total debt of the country is at 31 billion kina, the former treasurer said the government must consider the effects on ordinary people.
All people must have also money. Beyond long next 20 years to 30 years to 50 years and 100 years, country will also want him.
Poilier says the government is playing an expensive game to draw finance into the country.
One kind of 1.5 billion loan or all long financing syndicate, and because it's been much more damaging effect on economy blow again.
However, in a statement by Treasurer Patrick Pruitt, Minister Pruitt said while passing the 2016 budget in November 2015, a clause provides for the option for a sovereign financing of 3 billion kina. No specific project was stated by Minister Pruitt, but says the loan will be used to meet expenses of the state, including infrastructure and other developments. Jack Lapava Jr., National EMTV News.
Almost 90% of the asylum seekers Australia has sent to Papua New Guinea are genuine refugees, new figures show in a report. PNG authorities have approved 545 people for refugee status and assessed another 76 as non-refugees. However, this week, the Supreme Court issued a 2-week deadline for the remaining 389 asylum seekers to be processed. Chief Justice Salamo Injia said the process had dragged on despite the PNG government's assurance to fast-track the process. The court insisted that asylum seekers now be called residents after Supreme Court ruled that the centre was illegal. With housing a major issue for the working class in the nation's capital, NGCB Housing Policy 2016 to 2020 is hoping to relieve that stress for its employees. National Gaming Control Board CEO Imelda Agon said the housing policy is to give back to the people who turn the wheel of the company.
NGCB Housing Policy 2016-2020 was created to allow low-income employees own a home, says Imelda Agon, CEO of NGCB.
I can confidently and proudly say that NGCB Housing Policy will be structured in a way that all staff, regardless of pay grade, will benefit.
She said that NGCB gives back to the people and it was time it gave back to its employees.
NGCB also recognized that housing is a basic need and put forward an important decision to formulate a housing policy as a strategic guide to provide houses for its employees.
As speaker at the launch, Chief of Staff to Government George Boppy said that as a HR specialist, he understands that staff will not perform to the fullest if they are not being provided their basic needs.
In two of the jobs that I've done, a number of my staff had to live out of places like Morata, all the way about 9 Mile. Some of them had to commute all the way from places like Barakau and all the way down. And I was like flogging a dead horse, trying to get the best out of them. Out of a bunch of people whom I knew, right somewhere inside of me, that when you don't meet the basic needs, you're just wasting all the flocks.
He congratulated NGCB on a great policy that gives gender equality and provides for all staff no matter how much they earn. Adelaide Kari National, EMTV News.
Stay with us for more local and overseas stories after this break. Welcome back. The Ungai Bena district in the Eastern Highlands province has submitted its 2015 DSIP and DSG acquittals to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development. The acquittals indicated how the district used its funding to deliver government services. Eric Harupma with this report.
Ungai Bena MP Benny Allen, Eastern Islands Provincial Administrator Solomon Tato and District's Acting Administrator Jonathan Resis were all present to hand over the district's DSIP and DSG acquittals to Acting Secretary for Department of Implementation and Rural Development, Paul Sai. The acquittals contain a detailed report of the district's expenditure expended over the last 3 years.
Check and balance system has to be put in place so that we can easily track down those kind of transactions. So this is serious. We discovered that, and there were 4 checks that we picked up.
He said from investigations, 4 checks costing 26,000 kina were drawn without the endorsement from the DDA officials, which led to a reshuffle.
I can assure you and I can confirm that whatever is in the report is what is on the ground.
He said if it is happening in best performing district like Ungai Bena, it is happening in other districts as well. Project Management Committee was established to transparently manage the use of funds.
The money that is given by the government, we spread out evenly, almost evenly to all the key resort areas, infrastructure, education, health.
He will work closely with administrators to make sure accountability prevails. In addition, he said public servants need to be upskilled and working as a team will achieve more in the district.
Ungai Bena is moving and definitely will be going through the things, any minor, anything, things of shortage or not, compliance to the guidelines. we will be in touch through our provincial administrator.
Eric Arupma, National EMTV News.
A DNA laboratory has been set up by the Coffee Industry Corporation to protect the coffee industry in the country. This is a proactive approach to ensure the coffee berry borer does not spread and destroy the coffee trees in the country. This tiny insect, which can crawl through the eye of a needle, has a devastating effect on coffee industries, with damages costing $500 million around the world. Its size and the way it can be easily confused with other insects makes the insect a very difficult pest to control. With the new lab completed, the first specimens were processed this week. The lab was financed through the Public Investment Program in collaboration with the University of Florida. Haraga Primary School in Port Moresby recently witnessed the installation of 2 5,000-litre water tanks and other donations from Bank South Pacific. It is part of the bank's Community Project Development Program. This year's theme is based on renewable energy and the provision of clean water.
Speak Community Development Project today donated 2 water tanks, 8 drinking taps and a garbage can holder to Hagara Primary School in Hanwabada Village. In 2 weeks, BSB Operations and IT Strategic Business Unit staff, along with their families, volunteered their time and resources during the weekends to help deliver the project. When handing over the completed project, Head of Customer Contact Center, Sibona Kema, said their community projects are undertaken nationwide by each strategic business unit as a way for their staff to contribute meaningfully back to the community. A happy school board treasurer, Andrew Jaima, said that for many years, students have been drinking dirty water and also poor sanitation had caused all kinds of diseases. By providing these tanks, the children now have clean and safe drinking water. BSP branches across the country delivered 39 community projects nationwide in 2015 and is pleased that they could contribute to helping Hagara Primary School and will continue to look at ways to improve everyday lives through worthy projects like this. Daphne Rasahay, National EMTV News.
Moving overseas, Australia was headed for a hung parliament or a minority government, with half the votes counted in a national poll yesterday. Official electoral data halfway through the count for the House of Representatives showed a 3.3% swing away from the Liberal-led coalition government shortly before counting officials clocked off for the evening.
The tight vote is a major blow for Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, whose gamble on a risky double dissolution of Parliament to oust intransigent independents in the upper house Senate appears to have backfired. A jubilant Bill Shorten, leader of the opposition Labour Party, told supporters the Labour Party is back.
Friends, we will not know the outcome of this election tonight. Indeed, we may not know it for some days to come. But there is one thing for sure. The Labor Party is back.
Opinion polls heading into Saturday's vote had showed a potentially tight race after the landslide victory that brought the coalition to power in 2013. Turnbull, however, said his party had every confidence that they will form a coalition majority government in the next parliament.
Tonight, my friends, I can report that based on the advice I have from the party officials, we can have every confidence that we will form a coalition majority government in the next parliament. It is a very, very close count. It is a very close count, as you know.
On official projections issued before counting stopped, the coalition was projected to hold 71 seats against the opposition Labour Party's 68 seats and 5 to the Independents and the Greens Party. With just 6 seats left to determine the House of Representatives, it was unclear if coalition would win enough to form a government without an alliance with small parties and independents to get a majority. There is no counting scheduled for today, with counting for the Senate to resume tomorrow and the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Melissa Gaviro, MTV World News.
Local Iraqi TV channel Al Sumaria has reported the killing and injuring of several dozen people in 2 suicide car bombings in Baghdad early this morning. Supporters of the notorious Sunni group, in a statement circulated online, say the Islamic State claimed responsibility for one of the bombing in the Karada shopping area.
Video posted on social media showed a large blaze in the middle of Karada from the blast. The TV station said according to police sources, the car bomb went off near a restaurant there, popular to Iraqis for eating out late during the Muslim fasting month of Ramadan, which ends next week. The blast killed or wounded at least 20 people. Police said the second bombing hit Al-Shahab, a well-known Shiite district in the north of the Iraqi capital, leaving a number of casualties. Iraqi forces last month dislodged Islamic State militants from Fallujah, their stronghold just west of the capital, from which such attacks were launched. Melissa Gaviro, MTV World News.
Trukai Sports is next. We have rugby league, football and volleyball among others. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Port Moresby Suburban Women's Rugby League is now into round 4 of the competition. All teams are vying for a spot in the finals before selection trials that will determine them a place in the national side. The national side will play the curtain raiser match in the 2017 Rugby League World Cup.
Port Moresby Suburban Rugby League Vice President Noel Mapa says the competition provides avenue for women and girls in the community to get involved and express themselves through sports.
Mary mi blagi mo la option because lugi mo Mary sambla iga talent na stabin chelo wana na sabab area blol ono gada chance long play in chelo Port Moresby Sub Rugby League so mi bla saben gimo la second chance long can participate on the mipla long make through long take part on the mipla long make through control sambla selection also one can or man two will been go long selection representing.
In light of the Rugby League World Cup next year, in which PNG will co-host alongside Australia and New Zealand.
Working selection long play probable and possible long the next week and then by Southern by making selection long play my Southern Zone trials want imperial team long so I think long up making team long play long World Cup 2017.
Every game played will see the curtain raiser match of Women's Rugby League played to promote the code's popularity among women. The involvement of 8 teams from various suburbs around the nation's capital indicates the growing interest of women in a sport that is thought to be male-dominated. Mapa, for one, has been in the association for quite a while, explained that most women weren't given the opportunity to participate in Port Moresby Rugby League. Shane Saroya, National, MTV Sports.
Alwyn Komolong, the PNG central defender, has said that he is currently recovering after injuring his knee ligament during PNG's 2-0 victory over Malaysia in June. Komolong has just returned following a break overseas, currently resting and going through rehabilitation. The defensive midfielder hopes to be back at his best in the next few months.
Just resting, spending time with family and recovering, taking some time off from soccer and doing a little bit of exercises here and there, looking after myself. And, yeah. I went for scans and I tore a ligament, so I'm kind of out for 6 weeks. So I'm just doing my rehab, making sure I sort the knee out before I get back to fully playing. So I'm just here coaching the boys, Rapatona, making sure the boys are doing well here, so supporting them.
And to volleyball, the NCD Volleyball Association have just completed its first round of competition at the Tarama Aquatic Center. 16 Power, MJ Electrical, Umiet, Vanama and Scorpions are currently on top in the men's Premier Division, while in the women's Premier, Telecom, Jamas, ADF, Laudanu, Ella are leading the top.
The association has 10 clubs participating with 4 teams each: Scorpions, Vanama, MJ Electrical Umiat, Vailima, Ella Motors, ADF Laudanu, Jamas Drive Stars, 16 Power and PTPSL Telecom. Outstanding game for the men's this weekend came from 16 Power, who defeated Ella Motors 3-1. The women's division saw Telecom off to a good start, despite Scorpions' best effort to keep them at bay, with a scoreline of 3-1 as well. Coming up next weekend is round 2 of competition. Coinciding with the competition commencement is the training squad selection for the upcoming National Volleyball Championship in September here in the nation's capital. The association is expected to produce teams for the men's and women's open, under-21 female, under-21 male, and beach volleyball. Dinero Shriko, National EMTV Sports.
In overseas sports, world record holder Usain Bolt has withdrawn from Jamaica's Olympic Games trials only minutes before the men's 100 meters final in Kingston. Bolt's executive manager Nugent Walker confirmed the news less than 20 minutes before the race. Bolt's withdrawal does not mean he will miss the Rio de Janeiro Games, where he is expected to defend his titles in the 100 meters and 200 meters. Bolt had clocked 10.04 seconds to win the first semi-final after a poor start and was due to square off in the final against Johan Blake, who clocked 9.95 to win the other semi-final. Weather report is next. Stay with us for the details.
Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
Your weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow: in the southern region, fine in Port Moresby, a shower or two in Daru and Kerema, and thundery showers in Alotau and Popondetta. In the Momasa region, all centers are expecting showers. In the New Guinea Islands, all centers are thundery showers, then rain, except for Buka, which is expecting some showers. In the Highlands region, showers for Mount Hagen, Mendi, Wabeg, and Kundiawa, and Goroka expecting some showers. And that's the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 3rd of July 2016. From all of us here at EMTV, good night.